That is the scariest thing I have ever seen. How my teeth look. Hi kids. Hey, gotta have a new opening every time you guys come in. It entices you to come back. Have fun with me. Wow. What more fun could we have than solving trigonometric equations in tangent? Oh my god, I'm like so excited. Christmas, summer's coming. Summer's coming. Oh my gosh, but it's not here yet, so we got to go back to work. Trig Regents coming up, kids. MrCrossMath.com. I got a countdown timer on there. If you like these videos, hit subscribe. That way I get my subscribership up. Maybe I'll make some money from Bruegger someday, because, you know, we like to drink their coffee. So, let's get to work. Solving tangent equations. Let's start with some easy ones. How about it? By the way, we're going to solve these, and we're going to graph them. And no, we're not going to graph them. We're going to solve these to the nearest degree. So let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm going to bring the 1 over, so I get 2 tangent theta equals 2. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and I get tangent theta equals 1. And we've already talked about the fact that at 1, because it's 1, and it's sine over cosine, sine and cosine have to be the exact same value. Sine and cosine are the exact same values when theta is equal to 45 degrees. We also know that tangent's positive in the first and the third. So my answers here are 45 and 225 degrees. Done. Ka-chang. All right, so this one, like, you be careful because we're not talking about sine or cosine now. Now we're talking about tangent. Now this is negative, so we're going to have to find an angle in the the second and the fourth quadrant. I don't know when tangent equals negative 1/2. Cosine and sine I'm okay with, but not tangent. Let me clean out my mess from yesterday, which is really just from 5 minutes ago. And we're going to do the inverse tangent of, don't put a negative in, of 0.5. The inverse tangent of 0.5 is 26.56 degrees. We said we're rounding to the nearest degree. So theta, well, let's see, theta is equal to, well, we got to do tangent inverse of 1/2. And I ended up with theta equals, I've already forgotten. That's how old I am. 26.56 degrees, rounded to the nearest degree, is 27 degrees. Now, I don't want 27 degrees because that would be an obnoxious angle in the first quadrant. Don't want the first, don't want the third. I want this end. So we're going to do 180 minus 27, or 153 degrees. Or we're going to do 360 minus 27, or, let's see if I get this one right, 333 degrees. Done. None of this should be very difficult for you guys. You guys are amazing students. Well, except for a couple of you, but I'm not going to say who they are. So, cotangent of theta is equal to 3. And yes, anything that's not sine or cosine can be bigger than 1. So let's go find out when cotangent theta equals 3. Trig inverse cotangent of trace 18.4. In order to save time, let's just call it 18. So theta is equal to 18 degrees. Now, tangent, all students take calculus. Positive in the first and the third. So we're looking for these two angles, first and third. Well, if we're looking for the first, whatever you come up with, wow, that's amazing, is always going to be one of your answers. And we're looking for the third, you know, first and third are the fun ones, because all we got to do is add 180 to this, and you get 198 degrees. And there's your two angles. Sweet, sweet. How about we do this? Let's say tangent squared theta is equal to 4. And then let's bust out the red pen, not the I made a mistake red pen, the square root. When you take the square root, you put a plus or minus. Or you can come back and take this class again with Mr. Krause. So, having said that, tangent theta is equal to plus or minus 2. Now, the only thing we care about, by the way, plus or minus means we are in ka-ching, 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 all 4 quadrants. Oh, yeah. So we just got to figure out when tangent is equal to 2. So we'll do inverse. I don't know what the heck's going on. Hit the wrong button. Inverse tangent of dose. 2. 63.434. Let's just say it's 63 for fun. Theta equals 63. But since I need all 4 quadrants, then that is one of my answers, 63. In the second quadrant, we're going to do 180 minus 63. I believe that's 117. I could be wrong, but I'll look at my cheat sheet. Then I'm going to do 180 plus 63, which is 243 degrees. And then I'm going to do 360 minus 63 degrees, and that's 297 degrees. And there are my 4 answers. And I'm done. Wow, we're almost like halfway done. I'm flying. I hope I'm not losing half of you. Oh, it's going to get hard on Friday. Yeah, baby. All right, so let's do a little factoring. Tangent theta, tangent theta. So let's say you have no idea how to factor. Let's say you are so against factoring now, you just want to cheat. Menu, algebra, polytools, find the roots. It's the second degree. And I believe it was 1, negative 11. I hope that's a negative. And 24. So hit OK. Do you have x squared minus 11x plus 24 and you want to solve for x? Yes. So what are my 2 answers? Oh, 3 and 8. Oh my God, I couldn't factor that. That's crazy. So my 2 answers are going to end up being tangent theta equals 3 and tangent theta equals 8. That means these had to be minus 3 and minus 8. Oh, seriously, Corrales? I could have done that one. You needed your calculator for that? All right. So now we need to figure out what we got. We know we're going to have 2 angles in the first quadrant and 2 angles in the third quadrant because these are both positive. So each one of them is going to give us an angle in the first and the third quadrant. So we're going to do inverse tangent of 3, 72. And while we're here, let's just do inverse tangent of 8. So we got 72 and 83. 72 and 83. Those are my first 2 angles. Now, in order to find the angles in the third quadrant, we got to add each of these to 180. So this gives me 252 degrees. And what was that, 263 degrees? I believe that's correct. Oh, yeah, I'm right. All right, so I'm not going to go cheat on factoring because this one's kind of easy. I might cheat on a later one. Tangent theta. Tangent theta. Let's go minus 3 and plus 1. So this gives me tangent theta equals negative 1. We got to talk about that. And tangent theta equals 3. The good news is I don't have to use my calculator because I already have pretty much everything I need. 3, when I did 3, gave me 72 and 252. So I don't have to go do that again. That's kind of a time saver. And now tangent of equal to negative 1. Well, it's the same as 1. That gives us a reference angle of 45 degrees. Now, if you don't remember that, just come over here. You can do inverse tan of 1 and get 45 degrees. But I think you should be able to memorize it. That's sine over cosine, and therefore they have to be the same. 45 degrees, but it's in the second and fourth quadrant because it's negative. So that makes it 135 degrees and 315 degrees because it's in the second and fourth quadrant. I'm out. That's it. Done. All right. So we only got like a few questions left. On this one here, we want to move the 2 over. So the first thing we're going to do is bring that 2-bagger over there. So we get 3 tangent squared x minus 5 tangent x minus 2 equals 0. Now, some of you don't want to factor this. Some of you just hate to factor it. Let's bust out the calculator. Let's get rid of all the crap that's there. Let's start with a fresh graph. I like fresh graphs. We're going to go into menu, algebra, polynomial tools. Find the roots of the polynomial. Is it a second degree? It's almost always a second degree. And what were the numbers? 3, -5, and -2. Now this one's going to give us at least one easy answer and then one crazy answer. So did you have 3x squared minus 5x minus 2? Yes, that's my quadratic. So -1/3 and 2. So let's go back. We're going to have tangent of x equals to 2. That means this had to be tangent of x minus 2. Now I know I got to have a 3 tan, so I'm going to have a 3 tan here. And wasn't this one tangent of x equal to -1/3? And that means this has to be +1, because this would give me -1/3. All right, I think we already did tangent of 2, didn't we? Tangent of 2 was 63 degrees, so we'll cheat a little bit. X equals 63. Did we do 1/3? No, we did not do 1/3. So we got to do 1/3. Notice I'm not going to put the negative in. We're going to do inverse. Why do I keep hitting that escape? Tangent inverse of... I don't know why that's even in there. Tangent inverse of 1 divided by 3. And we get 18.4. 18.4 rounds to 18. So this gives us x equals 18 degrees. I could have sworn we had this already. Oh, because it was cotangent. Remember, cotangent. If cotangent equals 3, doesn't tangent equal 1/3? So 18 degrees. But it's -1/3, and tangent is negative in the second and fourth quadrant. So I have to subtract from 180 and get 162. Subtract from 360 and get 342. You guys should be getting really good at this now. And then tangent is positive in the first quadrant, so we're going to include that angle, and then also add to 180 and get 243. Do you like when I talk like this? All right. Almost done, kids. 6 tangent squared x minus, plus tangent x minus 15. Now, I'm not going to go over to use my poly tools because I think this one's not too bad. Oh, wait, no, it's a 6. Oh, well, I don't know if it's a 6 and 1 or a 3 and 2, so maybe I will go cheat. Oops. Yeah, I will go cheat. I'll go into menu, algebra, poly tools, find the roots. Some of you guys, this is going to be your new favorite tool. Some of you, this is going to mean you go out and buy this calculator because that's so amazing. I didn't say it. 6, 1, and -15. 6, 1, and -15. Enter. All right, okay. 6x squared plus x minus 15? Sure, why not? Oh, the 3 and the 5 go together, and the 2 and the 3 goes together. And don't forget their opposite signs. So let me just write down those answers. -5/3. So tangent x equals -5/3. That means I had a 3 tan plus 5. And then this would be 2 tan. And then I don't remember, what was it? Tangent theta, or tangent of x equals, I can't remember now. Was it +3/2? Yeah, +3/2. So that means I get 2 tan minus 3. Okay. We haven't done those yet, so we have to do those. Let me save you some time. If you do inverse tan of 5/3, you get 59. Let me make sure. I think I got these messed up. So let's just do this. Tangent inverse of 5 divided by 3 is 59. Good. And the tan inverse of 3 divided by 2 is 56. Wow, they're really close to each other. So this is 59. That's why I was a little bit messed up. I want to make sure I got that. 59, and this is x equals 56. So let's take care of the negatives first. They're the hard ones. We're going to take 180 and subtract 59. We get 121 degrees. We're going to take 360, subtract 59 degrees, you get 301. Then we're going to take 56. That's just one of our answers. And we're going to add 180 to it, and you get what, 236? 236. All right, we are almost done. Pythagorean identities. Now, we've already done these. These are the two extra Pythagorean identities. These are the ones we did, and you're like, why would anybody do that? So, let's remind ourselves. Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. If I divide by sine theta, sine squared theta, I get 1 plus cotangent squared theta equals cosecant squared theta. And I like to memorize this one. The C's kind of go together. And then if I did the same thing, and I had sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1, and I did some weird thing by like dividing by cosine squared theta. Why anybody would think to do this, I have no idea, but we did. We decided to do it because it looked like fun. Sine squared over cosine squared is tangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta. And yes, we'll be using that a lot over the next couple of days. So if you can commit those to memories, add those to your flashcards, I'm in good shape. So why is that? Why do I need that? What the heck? Who cares? So, oh wait, I do. Because check this out. I've got secant squared and I've got tangent. You can't replace a plain old tangent, but I can replace this secant squared. So I'm going to write 2, holy crap, I don't know what that is, plus 7 tangent theta plus 6 equals 0. Now I'm going to replace secant squared with what its replacement is. Tangent squared plus 1. All right. So let me scroll down a little bit and let's start factoring. So I'll distribute 2 tangent squared theta plus 2. I distributed plus 7 tangent theta plus 6. Now let me clean it up. 2 tangent squared theta. You guys love when I say tangent. It's like freaking annoying to say tangent theta. Sorry, kids. Plus 8. So I just cleaned it all up. Again, if I went too fast, hit the pause button. And let's factor it. It's not that bad. I could cheat, but I'm not going to. I get 2 tangent theta Oh, I see what I did. This was supposed to be a 4. So let me erase. That was supposed to be a 4. Then this should be a 4. And then this should be then this should be a 6. So I get 2 tangent theta plus 1. Nope, that's not even going to work. That's not going to work. I was thinking it would be plus 6, right? Because 1 and 6 make 7, but wait a second, doesn't this get multiplied by 2? So that's not going to work. So the only way to multiply to 6 is 3 and 2. I know I can't put a 2 here, so the 3 has to be here, and the 2 has to be here, and that's 4, and 3 makes 7. I got to remember to go back and make this change. That'll be in class. I'll see it. So let's see. My answers are tan equals negative 3 over 2, which we have already done, and tangent theta equals negative 2. Well, this one I remember, I believe, from page 1 to be 63 degrees. Yep. And then 3 over 2 right there is 56. So this is 63, and I know this is 56. So I just got to pick the right ones. Now they're both negative, which means we're going to be 2 angles in the second quadrant and 2 angles in the fourth quadrant. So let's do this one first. 180 minus 56 is 124. 360 minus 56 is 304. And then 180 minus 63 is 117, and 360 minus 63 is 297. So those are your 4 answers. All right, so this one I should have fixed already. This one I fixed. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace cosecant theta with its replacement. Well, its replacement is 1 minus cotangent squared. This should be plus. Sorry, kids, that should be a plus. I was going to say, I know that should be a plus. 1 plus tangent. I don't know why I put a minus there. Go back, make this a plus. I'll try to put that in the video. Minus 7 equals 0. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try this again. So, cosecant squared is 1 plus cotangent squared theta plus cotangent theta minus 7 equals 0. I think we're in better shape now. So, let's try. This is cotangent theta squared plus cotangent theta, and that's annoying, minus 6 equals 0. The factoring here is quite simple. It's cotangent theta plus 3 and cotangent theta minus 2. So this gives me cotangent theta equals negative 3 and cotangent theta equals 2. Again, we already got this 2. I know this is 63 degrees, and this is going to be 18 degrees. We've done cotangent equals 3. This is 18 degrees. That was up on the front page right there, 18. So let me pick the right answer, right quadrants, and let's see if I can get out of here. Let's see. Second quadrant is going to be 162. That's a 6. 162. God, that's annoying. Sorry, kids. 162. And then when I subtract from 360, I get 342. And then my others are going to be 63, and I want to keep that one, so that is 63, and then 243. And that's it, kids. That's all she wrote. Solving trig equations. Friday, we start identities. It's going to get a lot of fun. It's going to get a lot of real. Have fun. Take it easy. Goodbye.